My name is Max McCullough, and today I'm going to be talking about Romeo's Redesigned. Romeo's, for those of you who don't know, is a small, locally owned restaurant right here in Mercersburg. The reason I decided to work with them is because I'm a part of the family that owns Romeo's, so it gave my project a very personal perspective, which greatly helped form my work. The project we are about to look through was a great experience for me, as I haven't before had any digital design experience. To be honest, Commarts has been the first art class I've taken since the 8th grade, so I was lucky to have had a supportive teacher and program to learn and grow from. The following project makes adjustments to pre existing parts of the business's branding while expanding in ways not before utilized by the business, such as logo recoloring. Every facet of a business's logo is crucially important, especially the color. With the prior logo seen on the left-hand side of the screen, their branding was set on a gray background. Now, that's fine. It's okay as a practical standpoint. However, to entice the clientele of the business, a more vibrant color was needed. As the business has had a history of using red as a primary color, we decided to have the primary palette for the business be a red, black, and white, as seen on the right-hand side of the screen with both logo versions. The bright red that was agreed upon by the client stands out well and will catch the attention on flyers, posters, receipts, and wherever else the client wishes to place their branding. Changing the color was actually a bit difficult and monotonous, much more so than previously thought, as the people who originally designed the logo on the left-hand side never got back to me on sending me the correct version of the logo. I was forced to manually select the color pixels I wish to change and ensure that there was no bleed nor blur. Moving on to the business cards. It's rather necessary that business leaders have means of contact information readily available to a mass amount of people. The easiest way to accomplish this necessity is to have an available business card to hand to interested parties. Placing the recolored logo while using Romeo's red as an accent trim makes the cards pop, look professional, and look put together, giving a sense of security to those accepting the cards. Finding fonts which work well for your project is not always the easiest task. While you want to ensure legibility and readability, the most legible fonts are not always the most visually appealing. Striking a nice balance between the two is imperative, and I feel as though I did a nice job with this business card. Moving on to the form and document revamp. Within every business, the monotonous minutia of administrative work is ever present. Forms such as applications, HR emergency contact forms, and things of that nature. To grant a sense of professionalism to the employees of the business, it's rather important to have branded forms, so as to know that the behind the scenes are well put together and well managed. This gives a sense of relief to the employee, even if it is subconscious. Making the forms uniformed was important. Also, ensuring that there was a nice amount of accent colors, while not overwhelming, was a big part of the project. I believe these facets of this portion of the project was an interesting challenge which I rose to. Moving on to the promotion poster. As my client is a small business in a small town, promotions are important to continue being competitive in a rather stagnant economic market. Therefore, advertising for said promotions are necessary to get the word out, or else the promotion would be moot. This example of poster was well done, as the logo was given a festive feel with a Santa hat, and the border has a hand-designed string of lights with festive colors. The tree at the bottom makes a relaxed focal point, and the font makes the words legible yet not overly simplistic. Now, trying to crop a hat onto a circular logo is not the easiest of feats, especially when you have little to no prior experience with Photoshop. However, I was able to overcome this obstacle and persevere and make a product which I am rather proud of. Website recoloring. Just with the logo, it is important to take into account every single detail of an online store, even the coloring. This is especially true in a time when e-commerce is becoming increasingly important, such as during a global pandemic. Before, the website was not very welcoming. The coloring was predominantly black and white and was, to put it mildly, drab. Now, black and white can be straining for continued viewing. It is also not very inducing of hunger, so it was agreed upon the primary color be changed from black to Romeo's red, as is seen in the pictures shown. This makes the website look much more appealing and looks far less generic and has a much more hometown feel. Moving on to a simple project, receipt and invoice adjustment. For the receipt and invoice adjustment, all that was done was adding the newly colored logo to the top of the receipts and invoices. This logo being on every receipt and invoice increases the brand recognition as well as brand loyalty of customers. Email marketing. Marketing is an important part of any business, even more so during the times such as COVID-19. However, what is important with marketing is not simply getting the marketing message out there, but ensuring that people are interacting with and acknowledging the message. This is done through certain colors being used, such as the Romeo's red as is seen, specific wording, and repetition. This was done for the 2 emails sent out to the client's customers base during the time period of this class. As a result, the emails were responsible for a considerable amount of sales in a time when sales are desperately needed. Moving on to self-ordering posters. In times of COVID-19, as well as the apprehension of germs in the future, it is imperative that the businesses adjust their way of life, whether that is offering delivery, engaging in community programs, or changing the way they do business. Luckily, my client was rather amenable to any and all changes which would protect their customers, their employees, and their community at large. One of these changes was introducing self-ordering for their business. The client wanted this program to be used heavily. They also wanted to limit the need for employees to explain how to use the program as much as possible. Therefore, they requested a poster which explained the program while looking intriguing enough to be used. In my opinion, this was done quite well, as Romeo's red was used for the accents as well as for the QR code itself, giving the poster a more vivid appearance rather than a simple black and white. These directions were also made legible and concise, needing little to no explanation. All in all, working with small businesses is already satisfying. Yet combine that with the new challenges formed by COVID-19, as well as a personal connection with the business, and one is a project which they are extremely excited about. Being able to bring Romeo's brand to life was immensely satisfying. It was an interesting journey to go from no digital design experience at all, as I had at the beginning of the course, to now being able to comfortably interact with programs such as Adobe Illustrator, as well as being able to more clearly design in a more general sense. Not only shows growth on my part, but it also speaks volumes to the program of which I was a part of. Despite all the trouble I had with the program, the satisfaction and the knowledge gained far outweighed. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me today. Have a great day, and thank you again.